This is Digital Work Diaries, a podcast where we talk about research stories on the changing nature of work, hosted by the Digital Work Lab of Victoria University of Wellington.
Hello, I'm Carlos, and today we're going to talk about exploring the influence of generative AI on software developers for practice. So, please, what is your PhD topic about?
Okay, thank you so much, Carlos, for having me here. So yes, my PhD is about understand how software developer interact with generative AI like ChatGPT or GitHub Copilot, and so on to understand how they use these generative AI tools in their daily work and what's the impacts on their work practice. So yeah, that's my PhD topic.
That's so great. So, what motivated you to conduct this study?
So I think it's back to I would like to share a little bit about my background. So I studied computer science before, and I used to be a software engineer. So I always like to try some new tools, new technologies, and I want to try to see how this new technology, this tool can improve my work productivity, my work efficiencies. So when I start my PhD, the ChatGPT become very popular at that time. So I noticed that developers have used like ChatGPT in their work to help them like write the code or write do something in their work. So I become curious about how this emerging technology may change their daily work, how they use this tool, how they interact with this. So this is my motivation to conduct this study. I want to learn as a software developer how they use this technology, like because generative AI is not like a passive tool. It can be like a collaborator or tutor to like work as your colleagues or work as your tutor to teach you something. So the role of technology change. So that's what I want to learn on this topic.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, what is your particular approach?
So for my approach, I have two stages for my study. The first stage is I plan to conduct a basic qualitative research. So that will include literature review, document analysis, and interview with developers. So for the first stage, I want to know what affordances and what capabilities of generative AI can provide to software developers. So I want to know the capabilities and the like functionality or also the consistency of generative AI. And then for the second stage of my study, it will be a case study. So I want to do the case study with 3 to 4 organizations to go to their organization to have interview with developers and also observe their daily work to see how they use this technology in their work. So for the second stage, I will conduct a case study to understand the impacts of this technology on developer daily works. So that will be my my approach to conduct my study.
Okay, perfect. What did you find most surprising in your proposal?
I think because currently I'm in the stage of data collection and data analysis, so I don't have much finding at this stage. But for me, I think because I have already conducted some interview with some developers, so when I interview these developers, I found they did use generative AI at their work, and I found they used this technology in different ways. And also, some developer mentioned that they, I think surprised me is I thought some developer mentioned that they still treat this technology as a tool, not like a person. So I think this a little bit surprised me because I thought they will have a different view of this technology, but I think most of them, not most of them, like some of them, they still view this technology just as an advanced tool rather than a person or their virtual colleagues. And then for the other, I think developers do prefer to have some human conversation at their work, not use like this tool all the time. They still prefer to have this discussion with their colleagues. So I think this my initial findings at this stage, but I will continue my data analysis to get more insights.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Why is this so important for software developers' work practices?
Um, yes. So first, I would like to expand a little bit about the definition of work practice. So,
Yes.
for work practice, it means the activities that developer or individuals engage in regularly at work, and that those work are also related to others. So this activity can reflect their work characteristic and work patterns. So, for example, for developers' work practice, their work activity include like coding and then collaborate with other to develop a software products. So something like that. This is their work practice. Involves coding, collaboration, and like also like fixing bugs, something like that. So that is the definition of work practice. So for the question why is important to study this topic, I think for two reasons. The first is the challenge faced by developers because they have to because software development is a knowledge intensive activities, so they need to learn a lot, learn quickly and also deal with the changing requirements. And they also need to understand a large amount of contextual information related to the software or the projects. So this will increase their cognitive load and also require them to increase their productivity. So this challenge requires the developers to find some technology or find some tool to help them improve their performance and productivity at work. And then for the second reason is because the generative AI has the potential to address this challenge because as we know, like ChatGPT can help us to summarize the contents, can like generate the content or generate code immediately. So that it has the potential to address this challenge to improve the productivity of software developers. So because of that, I think there is uh, because the current situation, we can see developers already use this tool at their work, but we don't know how they can collaborate with generative AI effectively. And we also don't know, beside the benefits, what are the negative effects on their work. So that's why we need to understand this phenomenon and also need to explore the potential of generative AI and to find the like provide the guidance to organizations or provide the insight to AI designer to let them know how they can design the AI generative AI tool to let them can be used effectively at work. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. That's an excellent explanation. So finally, what else should we know about you or your topic?
Okay, so I can share a little bit about my PhD journey because this is my third year. So for my first year, I spent most of the time to think about my research question to to explore the value of my topic. So that is what I did in my first year, and then in my second year, I spent some time to find the participants. I think that is the most challenging part for me to find the right participant and then ask them to join my research. That's the most challenging part for me. So in the second year, I start the data collection and then interview some developers. So I think now is my third year. So I continued my research, and then I think for me, my current plan is to analyze the interview that I have, the data, and then I hope to find more participants and also find the organization that interest in my research to help together to understand how we can use generative AI tool to help developers work effectively, and also for organization that they want to introduce this tool in their company. They want to leverage the value of this tool. I think it's also valuable to like invite organization together to explore the value of this technology. Yeah, so that's my journey, my PhD journey so far.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. So thank you for your time and best wishes in your research.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this Digital Work Diaries podcast. We'd love to hear your feedback and questions. Drop us a comment below, and we look forward to catching you next time.